Hey guys, this topic has been touched upon a gazillion times in the dating space and even in the RP space. We talk about this a lot. And that is why women break up. Why do they leave their marriages? Why do they file for divorce? Now, the top two reasons as to why women file for divorce and wreck their marriage is irreconcilable differences and financial reasons. So, moolah, money, those are the top two reasons why women leave their marriages, why they get divorced. So we were told. And hey, it is what it is. That's what the stats say. Now, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say something very polarizing, very radical, and audacious. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna call BS and cap on those two reasons being the top reasons, or even the official reasons as to why women leave marriages and leave their relationships. All right. So, with that being the case, you may be tempted to ask, so, Kenny, why do chicks leave their relationships and file for divorce? If it's not money and they just don't get along anymore, what are the reasons? What is the reason? Here it is. Women leave their relationships and marriages because they want new peen. They want new D. They want new eggplant. Yes, I said it. I said it. That's why women leave. Here's the thing, guys. You're never gonna get that sit down talk from your girlfriend or your wife where she's gonna say to you, "Hey, babes, sit down. Let us talk. I've been thinking. Um, Greg at work, I think I want to experience him. I, I want to have some bedroom action with Greg. So I'm going to have to break up with you." You're never going to get that conversation. So don't even let that enter your mind for even a nanosecond. That conversation will never ever happen. All right? So get that out of your mind. Now, as I said, this is just my opinion. This is my at least it's based on my anecdotal experiences and from what I observed around from other people's anecdotal and personal experiences. Guys, women leave because they want to experience other D. All right. Here's an interesting post or video that I watched earlier today. And I think it's from an article. I don't remember the source of the article, but this is what it says. I took the screenshot. "My wife and I have been together since high school. After 19 years, she said she wants to know what it feels like to be with someone else." Need I say more? Need I say more? They've been together for 19 years, and now the wife drops the bombshell that she wants to experience other guys. Now, this is an anomaly in the sense that you're never going to get this conversation. All right. So this was like a one-off. And I'm not even sure if the husband, because this was from the husband, I'm not even sure if he received that personally from his wife, or he must have he could have just figured it out. Needless to say, that is what the conclusion was. His wife of 19 years wanted a divorce because she was craving the experience of being with another man. So it goes right back to my theory, right back to my opinion, my guesstimation that women break up because they want to be with other guys sexually. All right. So to even go further with this, you may be tempted to ask also, but Kenny, why wouldn't the girl just stay in the marriage, stay in the relationship, and cheat? Why would she blow the whole thing up when she could just cheat in secret and nobody knows anything? Here's the deal. Women do this. Women do cheat and would cheat. We all know this. So here's the thing, right? They will cheat and experience that other eggplant, that other peen on the side, but that becomes risky over time. And especially, let's say if the girl has a boyfriend who's very leery and he's very wary, he's very suspicious of her or even of situations in general. And he might be a guy who snoops around. Let's even say that he's a guy who may go through her phone, her emails, um, any source that he may feel he has to go through in order to ascertain whether his girlfriend is being a harlot or not. All right. So if your girl senses or knows that you are that type of guy who's going to be leery and suspicious about her movements, she might not risk cheating due to the fact that her boyfriend is the type to snoop around. So she will implode the relationship in hope. She would do things in hopes that the guy may dump her. And so she won't have the burden upon her of having to be the one who does the dumping, even though that's what it is 80% of the times anyway. The woman is going to be the one who does the dumping. However, prior to that, she is going to do anything within her powers in order for the guy to dump her. But because men don't take the hint and because men don't do the dumping, because men are actually loyal and faithful to the T, men will literally never pull the cord on a relationship and dump a girl. It only happens about 10% of the times in relationships, about 15% of the times in marriages. Okay? So women would start arguments, they would start fights, they would just go berserk, PMSing, you name it, on their period, they would go extra crazy in hopes that the guy would dump her. But like I said, that is not likely to happen. So what the girl is going to do as a result, she is going to be the one who eventually pull the plug on a relationship. Why? In hopes of having extracurricular fun with another guy. And like I said, if you are a guy in the relationship who doesn't snoop, isn't suspicious, isn't leery, is totally trusting of a girl, which he shouldn't be. That's a very dumb thing to be trusting of a female because women don't even trust themselves. So why would you even trust an individual who doesn't trust his or herself? So that's besides the point. So if you are a trusting guy who lets his girl go wherever she pleases, you allow her to wear whatever she wants. You're not suspicious of her in any way possible. If you are that kind of boyfriend, she will definitely cheat on you and remain with you. She's going to experience the other eggplants that she wants to experience on the side while remaining with you. Now, the thing is, you're going to get dumped eventually. Statistics prove this, that 80% of guys will be dumped eventually. All right. So this is not a grand guesstimation game. This is not just me opining out of my rear end. The stats actually back this up because most relationships fail. 90% of the times, most relationships fail. All right. The divorce rates are higher than the marriage rates. So there are stats there for that. So if you're a guy who's trusting of his girl, who lets her go everywhere and do whatever she wants to do, you are only biding time before she pulls the plug on a relationship. So my theory is this: you might as well get it over early, right? Get it over early, and because the girl's gonna pull the plug anyway. To recap on the previous point that I made, which is that the girl will never tell you she wants to sleep with another guy, so that's why she's breaking up. You will never get that conversation from her. Okay? Now, here's one of the reasons why. What is a woman's biggest fear? What is her number one fear in the world? What is every chick's number one fear? It's to be perceived as a 304, to be perceived as a harlot. That is her biggest fear. All right. Every girl's biggest fear is to be known as the neighborhood bicycle. As someone who rides the cock carousel like crazy. No woman wants that reputation. Okay? So, I mean, chicks even skip town because of that. You have a chick who was a neighborhood bicycle. She slept with a lot of dudes in her town, in her city. Women would literally get up and move and skip town and go to another city, go to another country, just to get away from this perception or rumor or even this reputation she has of being the neighborhood bicycle, of being a 304. That goes to show how massive this is of a negative on a woman's reputation that she would literally get up and skip town. No man in the history of mandom has ever gotten up, moved to another city because he has the reputation of being a player, a man whore, a harlot, a womanizer. No man has ever skipped town because of that. And this is one of the double standards. All right, so that is one of the double standards that men enjoy. All right, we can sleep around and not get lambasted for it and not get a bad rep for it. So we would never skip town, never move to another country because we are being perceived as a ladies' man. A woman, on the other hand, will totally move from Jersey to Vegas just to get away from her reputation of being a 304. All right. So, with that being said, now that you know what a woman's number one fear is, that is why she would never come out and tell you the truth, which is that she wants to break up because she wants to experience other penis. Right? You will never have that conversation. Now, here's the thing, too. It's not going to start just like that. Meaning, your girlfriend or wife is not going to sit you down and say, "Hey, it's not working out. I think we should break up." It's going to begin with space. I need space. I want space. And this could have come as a result of an argument, a fight. Doesn't matter. You're going to get hit with, "I need space," firstly. All right, and that is a hint. The girl is literally trying to tell you. She's trying to force your hand. She's trying to force you to break up with her. That is what she's trying to do by asking for space. She wants you to break up with her at that moment. Okay? But again, as I spoke upon, touched on earlier, men will never do this. Very rarely. But men are not going to do it. So she's going to ask for space. The guy is going to grant it. The guy's going to be, whether he's pissy about it or he's nonchalant and cool about it, the guy, the boyfriend, the husband is going to grant her the space. All right. Eventually, like I said, because he's not going to dump the girl, eventually she is going to have to be the one who does the dumping. All right. Because the guy is not taking the hint. The guy is not going to dump her. Women don't notice because a lot of them are under the impression that men are the ones breaking up. And they're in for a rude awakening when they find out that, hey, I told my boyfriend I want space and he's not even breaking up with me. He's just like, okay, cool. Take the space. We're still together. So they're gonna break up eventually, okay? And like I said, guys, her hypergamous nature is gonna kick in, and that is what is gonna pull the plug on the marriage and the relationship. They want D. All right? And it also cracks me up and kills me when I hear guys say stuff like, if I give her good sex, it'll keep her in the relationship. Or if a guy breaks up, or if a marriage just dissolves or a guy gets dumped, you have a lot of guys out there who would say, "Oh, his D game sucked. He didn't know how to please her in the bedroom." And that is so far from the truth. Guys, it doesn't matter how good you are in the bed. Women's hypergamous nature cannot be tamed. Okay? No matter how good you put it down in the bedroom, it doesn't matter. You cannot beat hypergamy. All right? You cannot defeat it. And then this is the essence of the red pill. The red pill is you accept women for what they are. You accept female nature for what it is. We don't get mad at women for doing what is within their nature and what they cannot help. Okay? That's the red pill in its purest form, accepting the reality for what it is. No amount of good sex game can keep a woman from wanting to explore and have other experiences with other men. Okay? Now, again, you might be tempted to say, but Kenny, you're a woman who've been in relationships for ages and you never stepped out. Sure, those are the exceptions. Those are the quote unquote good girls, per se. Those are the uncorrupted girls. So you're going to find those, okay? But they're definitely in the minority, especially in the Western Hemisphere where we are, all right? So, it's a diamond in the rough. You're going to have to go through a lot of girls before you ever stumble upon that one, unless you get lucky from the gate, all right? So, yes, there are girls out there who can be able or who can possibly override their hypergamy. It happens, but it takes a special or a different kind of girl in this modern era that we are in right now. Okay? But for the most part, women are going to break up with you. Women are going to break up with you for the most part. That is the reality. That's what it is. Okay? And I don't care what reasons are given for them dissolving a marriage, filing for divorce, and breaking up. I don't care if it's irreconcilable differences, financial reasons, the man not providing the way that he was providing at a certain juncture. I don't care. Those are all socially acceptable reasons women give. But at the core of it all, they want other men in bed. Now, lastly, this is the last thing I want to touch on. It varies from girl to girl, meaning a chick can be in a relationship or marriage for 20 years and never get the desire to experience new pain. However, on the 21st year of the marriage, she may get that desire. You have other women out there who would get the desire for other peen within 2 years of the relationship. So it all varies from girl to girl. Okay, women may cheat at certain junctures of a relationship, whether the 10-year mark, the 2 month mark, 5-year mark. It varies. Okay, so it varies from girl to girl. Some will leave later on and get the new sexual experience that they crave. Some would leave early to get that experience. All right. So again, I have to say this before I leave. The reason why your wife or your girlfriend will never say to you, I want to break up because I want new D, is because she doesn't want to be perceived and looked at as a little harlot. So you will never get the liberty of having that transparent conversation from your girl. It doesn't matter what you say, guys. She's not gonna reason to you in such an upfront, forthright manner and tell you what it really is. She's gonna bring up every excuse in the book. Every excuse in the book. All right? She needs space. She needs time to think. She needs to go to the Himalayas to meditate. She turns into a tree hugger. She found God. She's now in the church. They're going to give every reason as to why they want to break up, but they will never tell you what the real reason is. But you know what? Kenny just told you. I just told you. All right, hold up. Let me leave this quick little gem and food for thought for you. If the relationship, the dissolving of the relationship, the breakup, the marriage was on the up and up in the sense that the girl isn't doing it for any nefarious reasons like trying to get some new peen. If the relationship dissolving is what the reasons are on the surface at face value, meaning she broke up because she wanted some time for herself, she wanted to meditate on life, things were just getting too claustrophobic, financial reasons as far as the marriage is concerned. She just wanted time for herself if those reasons are actually the real reasons as to why women leave and break up, why is it that they always end up with another guy anyway? Eventually? Why do they eventually start to date again? Why do they suddenly or eventually get a new boyfriend? If the reasons for breaking up were not about getting some new D. They knew it all along that that is the reason why they're breaking up. You just didn't know it. She just never told you. She knew it all along. She knew why she wanted to break up. She wasn't going to tell you. Guys, we were sold a bad bill of goods when it comes to women. We were told that they are shrinking little violets, they are little angelic beings. All right. We were sold that idea about women. All right. When you get exposed to this information in the RP that we put out there, you'll get to learn the true nature of women and how they can be totally cutthroat. Okay. They do stuff without you knowing in the sense of they would never tell you the true reasons as to why they do what they do. Guys like me are out there telling you why women do what they really do. Okay? This is why women hate the red pill. This is why they hate the manosphere. We are exposing them. All right? I'm going to talk about this in um, the subsequent video that I'm going to put out. So the next video is going to be on that topic. Why women and beta males hate the red pill.